There was a report last week that ICE is unlawfully detaining children. And they're breaking all kinds of rules and breaking all kinds of laws in detaining children. And I just saw a report out of Vermont that ICE detained a second grader right before Thanksgiving. It was either right before or right after Thanksgiving that this second grader didn't show up for school. So the school called the parents. They got the dad on the phone. The dad didn't know where the son was, or the kid. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. 7 years old. Well, it turns out that this second grader had been detained with their mother in Vermont. The mom is undocumented and had fraudulent documents, paperwork. And when the kid didn't show up for school, the school personnel administration tried frantically trying to locate this 7-year-old child. And they determined that the child was being held at an ICE detention facility in Texas. Texas is a very long way away from Vermont. The child had been detained with his mother. The school administration and the superintendent for the district immediately started doing everything that they could think of to do to get this child released from ICE custody. They hired an attorney. They started sending money to the facility in Texas so that the kid could, buy things that you need when you're in detention at an ICE facility in Texas and you're 7 years old and 2,500 miles away from your home. They're going to hold this kid for over a month because they've set a hearing for January for this 7-year-old child who was detained with their mother. The school is trying to get the kid released. ICE is not allowed to hold children for that long. And the dad was there at home. Of course, if ICE would have gone to the house, they probably would have taken the dad too, to Texas. Everything that ICE and Customs and Border Patrol and Kristi Noem and Tom Homan and little Greg Bevino from Customs and Border Patrol, everything they're doing, there's going to be a reckoning when Donald Trump's out of office. There's going to be a reckoning. And ICE is doing all of these things on U.S. soil, and Customs and Border Patrol. They're doing all this stuff on U.S. soil. And Donald Trump will not be able to pardon them from state charges. When you think about the blanket pardons that Donald Trump is going to have to issue, and it's still unresolved because of the way Donald Trump drafted the January 6th pardon, when he pardoned all of the January 6ers, that very well might include the D.C. pipe bomber who was arrested last week. I'm sure his attorneys are going to litigate that question into the ground because the language of that pardon was very broad. There's going to be a reckoning for this shit, man. I wouldn't want to be an ICE officer right now. I wouldn't want to be a Customs and Border Patrol officer right now because you guys are going to get charged. You're going to get charged, and Donald Trump is going to leave you twisting in the wind.